Jujutsu Shenanigans has been out for a few weeks now, and after a few updates has now exploded in popularity, and now I think it's time to have that conversation. Does Jujutsu Shenanigans have the potential to be better than every Battlegrounds game out currently, including TSB? Exhibit A, the first big update to the Jujutsu Shenanigans. Finally made the gambling king himself, Hikari, free for everyone. Hikari was already amazing in early access, but giving him two moves, both in base and awakening, made him even more goated as a character. One particular change I noticed was the M1s for Hikari were completely changed for him to be sort of a Sanji style or Akiyama from Yakuza. It makes every character feel different from each other, which is what some games lack. Although maybe adding Hikari for free might have actually made me hate his awakening song forever, because in public servers it's literally all you hear. Hikari turning free was not a good idea. But the Hikari update wasn't the only thing that was incredible about this update. This new feature in Jujutsu Shenanigans is everything you could ever want. So instead of telling you, how about I just show you? Like, look how cool this is. Like, come on.
Bro, you're trash,
I can't
bro.
do it. You can't tell me that's not. You can't tell me that's not cool, bro. But the best feature to be added to this update is throwable objects, of course, because you can annoy the hell out of everyone in the lobby. Let's see if I can do it.
It was at this moment he knew.
Did he die from that? He did. Yeah, that already made Jujutsu Shenanigans my favorite BG game. That's just too cool. Now, Megami might actually be the most broken character in the game. Like, he needs nerfs immediately. I gotta be dreaming right now. This thing is also good rushdown. What can't this class do? Pick up this trash can? What can't Megami do? It also seems the community got a patch note or two, because now teamers have found it their mission to ruin this game as well. They're actually about to jump me. Do you see this?
A few minutes later.
Oh my god, bro. Come on. This is crazy. I don't even know, bruh. No. That is literally their goal to jump. Exhibit B, the battle for the best Battlegrounds game. Did a poll recently asking you guys which one of the two biggest Battlegrounds games right now are better, and surprisingly you guys said Jujutsu Shenanigans was better. But anyway, let's get down to the facts. And the first thing I want to compare is both of their newly added build systems, by going into each of their respective games and exploring some of the builds that were able to be created within the game. Starting with TSB, which I'm pretty sure its build mode is a little more intuitive than Jujutsu Shenanigans and has a grid system, which allows people to make some pretty cool stuff like this. This is the most chaotic restaurant in the strongest Battlegrounds. I don't know who built this, but it literally is the most... Yo! A chef at the front that like takes people orders and he actually cooks them. I can just tell him, yo, make me some fries, bro, and he say, yeah, and he'll really give you an order number. Enjoy. Yo, thanks, bro. While some people do use this to make some pretty wholesome builds, without proper moderation, this can happen. Out of everything you could have built, you decide to build the twin freaking towers. Yeah, maybe the build mode was a mistake. Yeah, I'm not too sure if Roblox is just going to allow the build mode to stay in the game unless something is done about the inappropriate builds that are inside the game currently being made. But a really cool thing that you can do is basically make custom movesets with this build mode, but this allowed people to make some pretty cool and interesting combinations, so it's not all bad. But switching gears over to Jujutsu Shenanigans, where a majority of the builds are often obbies, because Jujutsu Shenanigans movement system, it just seems as if the parkour system makes people want to make more obstacle courses than hateful stuff. I really hope that the devs or even Roblox can find a middle ground here of proper moderation, but Roblox can't even moderate its own shop in public UGC, so I doubt games with build modes will be able to be properly moderated at all, which could lead to the shutdown of both games at the fault of no one but the bad apples in the community. I do also wish that the maps can be placed on some type of market like in Fortnite, in this case a map, instead of relying on the dev to load it up inside of a private server. Oh, now this is what I'm talking about. Someone literally made an entire Jujutsu high school, bro. I wish more people could do. Instead of making 9/11, make this. Like, this is great. Comparing both systems mechanically, I'd say TSB's is slightly better because of its grid system, but they both basically allow for the same creative freedom depending on who you are, for better or worse. Now on to the visuals. In my personal opinion, I really like Jujutsu Shenanigans style of UI and the general style of the game and map. And of course, we all love the destruction physics in this game. I think move effect wise, Strongest Battlegrounds probably is the winner here, but not by much. But that's pretty much it. The map of the Strongest Battlegrounds is still the basic base plate with a few trees around, and honestly for a while it felt like it needed more maps to just keep the game decently fresh. So hopefully with the build mode, maybe that can help with the problem. Jujutsu Shenanigans has a whole city with a few references to video games or just memes of the Jujutsu Kaisen series that are pretty popular, or just what the dev likes pretty much. and the map just has so much more personality and takes advantage of the systems in place perfectly. The UI of Jujutsu Shenanigans, although it is a very small detail, also has a little more thought put into it than TSB's. Emotes are a thing in most Battlegrounds games, and to be honest, Jujutsu Shenanigans may have the coolest one out of all of them, where you can literally play a piano, bro.
Real music, man. Come back home.
And even though I say TSB has better move effects and animations, I still believe Jujutsu Shenanigans has some decent move effects and animations as well, and beats out majority of all of the other JJK Battlegrounds games. It's just that TSB is better here in this case. Now, movement. I think TSB has better movement in combat, but Jujutsu Shenanigans has better movement outside of just the combat movement. Let me explain. Jujutsu Shenanigans is parkour based. It has vaulting and wall riding, and is a game that you can really take advantage of your surroundings in certain situations, and the map plays perfectly with this parkour system. But I think that TSB still has some of the smoothest combat movement I've seen in any Battlegrounds game, and for some odd reason, no other game has been able to make that solid of a system yet without completely copying it. But that's not to say that Jujutsu Shenanigans is not a close second. But let's get into why as we lead into combat. Now, combat in both games are quite similar, as in they rely on the player's ability to get around someone's block, even more so in Jujutsu Shenanigans, since there isn't a lot of big AoE attacks that go through block like in the strongest Battlegrounds. So you have to rely on your side dash and front dash tech a lot more than not. And people have already come up with ways to easily move around their opponent at lightning speeds as they sweat all over their keyboard and mouse. In my personal opinion, I do have more fun at Jujutsu Shenanigans simply because the community has not figured out how to break the game yet. Also, with the addition of each character essentially having different additions to their kit when you use the R key, like Hikaru's door counter, Gojo's teleportation technique, Sukuna and Itadori's ability to feint abilities and fake out the opponent, which is really cool. I think it's a lot easier to balance when you only have a few characters in Jujutsu Shenanigans, and we will just have to see how good the dev team is at balancing stuff as the more characters are added to the game. The one thing I absolutely despise about Jujutsu Shenanigans combat system, as I've played more ranked matches, is that the hitboxes are sometimes incredibly weird. Like on Itadori's Curse Strike, where you'll sometimes be completely dashed out of the way and still get hit by it even though you technically dodged it on your screen. So you're practically forced to have to block this move in a lot of circumstances. TSB seems to have decent hitboxes that have alleviated problems like this, and as of right now, TSB generally has the better combat system, but I'm sure with more updates, Jujutsu Shenanigans will get closer and closer to perfection. Exhibit C. Is Jujutsu Shenanigans better than the strongest Battlegrounds? What I mean by that is with Jujutsu Shenanigans new systems, it gives it a slight edge over TSB in a few ways, but TSB naturally right now has the better combat system and move effects and build mode, and of course more characters for now. I say for now since the Jujutsu Shenanigans devs are working extremely quick and are pushing updates out like clockwork, while with TSB it takes them a month or two to add just one move with a bigger budget. One of the glaring differences is because of Jujutsu Shenanigans' very goofy approach to game design most of the time, since people aren't sweating and are mainly just trying to have fun in this game. While in TSB it's grown to be quite the competitive game, which a lot of people who are casually playing have just grown tired of.
You should kill yourself now.
But who knows, maybe with time Jujutsu Shenanigans might become the same. I personally, however, prefer Jujutsu Shenanigans. I just have more fun with it nowadays, but I'm not going to be biased against the facts. Jujutsu Shenanigans is a close second, but give Jujutsu Shenanigans a few more months to really add more characters and get better on the gameplay side, and it will definitely, in my opinion, be considered the best Battlegrounds game easily, just because it has so much more going for it already, and it hasn't even been out for that long. But if you guys enjoyed this video and you like some more content like this one, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.